I hear what you're saying, but if that's the case, then the husband and wife that the married couple, the two that are married, should actually divorce then, because I'm just saying that when you enter that marriage, you're entering a marriage to be faithful to each other.
Yeah, they are, but maybe but maybe
bring her in.
Well,
what do you mean bring her in?
As in remarry the three of them.
For me personally, I think it's selfish. I just think, to me, it's like you make a choice. It's either you're married to your husband, and you give all your love to your husband, and the husband gives all the love to the wife. I just think, you know, it's either she decides that she's a heterosexual and she sticks with her husband, or she decides that she's a lesbian and she sticks with the girlfriend or such.
I just think bisexual.
She's bisexual. Sorry, bisexual. I just think that, but then I just think that I just think that they should just choose which one are they with and stick with one. I just think the whole thing is just messy.
It's messy, but because they are happy. They are happy. But I think it's going to be for a time. I don't think that's sustainable.
Well, it depends on how they're happy, because, you know, like sometimes, say for example, well, in this case, because it's the woman's best friend, let's say, if it were that, say, the wife thought, you know what, me and my friends, we've had sexual relationships, or we're having a sexual relationship, or would like to, the husband might think, well, because I love my wife and that's what she wants, then I'll allow it, on the condition that I can have a little bit too.
With someone else, or with a friend?
With a friend. I think sometimes maybe it's the consideration. It's just like how you may not really be into something, but you might compromise. So maybe they're not all happy. Yeah, but then they're compromising because it makes the other one happy.
Even though, I mean, I don't know if you heard that there are rumours about various celebrities that have this polyamorous relationship, such as one is actually Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. You know, one is, well, before they split up, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't buying all of that. I mean, with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, I feel like he might have messed up one time, and she's like, well, if you can do it, I can do it. Well, and then just to really kind of get him back, and he couldn't really say no. So well, I mean, yeah, that's what we do.
Talking about how sometimes it can get messy though, where your feelings, it can't be equal. I mean, it's like allegedly Ashton Kutcher, that was married to Bruce Willis' ex Debbie Moore. They allegedly had that type of relationship.
Well, like three's a crowd.
And she was very much into like women as well. I heard, well, allegedly that she's raised, but then he started having relationship outside or without telling her, and that's how it got messy.
But that's different though, isn't it? Because I think this polyamorous relationship is that everybody knows.
But it was with one of the same ones that they normally have their counterparts with, the kind of, you know, but then they decided to meet up without her.
No, and see, that's different.
And, you know, and then
this is why I say that it's not always sustainable, because
it's messy.
As you said, it depends on why they have come together as a threesome in the first place. And then, you know, if, for instance, a man and two women, and then he starts to, as he was saying, get a liking for one woman more than the other. Oh, she's a bit boring and she's a bit more exciting. Then it's gonna fall apart because you can't have that equal.
But if you had that there's a female rapper,
American.
Yeah, American. She was the one that did what was it again?
The Brat.
No. She's new. She's a younger woman. She's got an album. I can't remember her name. We'll have to come back to it. But I'll put a picture up of her. But she's married, and she's got a song called like Threesome. Okay. And when she was asked in an interview about it, she was like saying that, you know, it's something that her husband wanted to do, and she participated in it. But obviously she said that it wasn't anything that she was like trying to say. She didn't just do it because he wanted to do it.
She was curious as
yeah,
well.
she also wanted to participate in it. And then, but she said that, you know, she made kind of like a little joke, but she said that, you know, when it's time for her to orgasm, he knows that where he needs to be. You know, he knows, like, basically she was just trying to say she knows that she is the main
She has
person
the upper
in
hand
that,
in the relation.
And,
yeah.
you know, this other woman is just, well.
But that's different though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is different to what
I
we're
think
talking
the distinction needs to be between, like what you were saying, like open relationships with allegedly Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, where they bring in people and a bit of fun here, you might choose this person and everyone knows about it. But this polyamorous relationship where they're all living together, the three are living together, and it's meant to be long term. See, not my problem. I have no problem with them doing it if it works for them. I think the issues would be when when children come into the picture, because if it's a man with two women, you know, they're not going to probably get pregnant at the same time, because that's what they were saying.
Yeah, but then the aim is he wants to get both of them pregnant.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah, but the chances of that. Well, I say that I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a problem. But I think if it works for them, is it possible to? I think people can love, as you said, for different reasons. I think they can be in love with more than one person at the same time. I really do. And I think it's because people have different qualities, what people love. So I think it can work. Is it messy? Yeah, I think it.
Potentially, definitely.
It's messy.
It's messy.
It's
messy
amazing that people actually make it work.
And I think it may be, you know, if you've got the certain unique people who are really for it,
have to be
and
unique.
the chemistry is right, but there's a lot of factors to make it perfect. I don't think it would just work for your average,
Not
you
at
know,
all.
people. Yeah,
Not at all.
No.
you know, maybe they're
Well,
one.
I don't think is there any such thing as a perfect relationship?
Yeah, there isn't.
No, there
but-
isn't.
So,
But
There
there's
isn't,
factors that will
but-
make it work.
Exactly.
You know, depending on how the person is. And I think the people that the couple or the throuple, the three of them, they were Americans. I'm not saying that makes any difference, but they were an American couple, and they were quite a young couple, and it's working at the moment. But you don't, you know, 10 years down the line,
Will it still
be working? Because I think the biggest problem is jealousy. It has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to
I
be
mean,
jealousy.
I was watching one of these programs on TV, American Again, and it was a man with 5 wives, and there was jealousy there.
Of course.
There was jealousy there because you had like the first wife, she was the oldest, and then when the latest one came in, she was and she got less of his time than the younger one, so she was like the more. The one that was more jealous. Yeah. So I don't know how those relationships work at all. I just don't understand it. But there were children in there, and they call them mummy. This
all of them.
Oh,
mummy one, mummy two.
Mummy Angie and mummy Cleo.
Okay.
So. But I thought that must be very confusing for the children. How did those children grow up and then look for their own relationship?
Because it's not quite confusing for them, because
no,
that's all they know.
That's what I was
all
going to
they know.
say. It's
I
like
don't think it's
for them,
confusing.
that's normal.
Yeah, because this is all they know. They're not used to the mum and dad relationship. That's how they grow. They're not going to see anything different till maybe they get into school, and even then it's what they've been used to. They're not going to question it.
A lot of those setups, they school the kids at home, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes
right.
they do.
But do you think the kids will grow up thinking that, you know, it's possible to choose one person and me being them being the only wife?
Well,
So then it's not, you know what I mean? They're
Not
not
if
growing up to
not
think
if they
that.
don't see
yeah,
it.
that's it. I
This is
think
what
if
I'm
that's
saying.
what they're used to and that's what they see as
Especially
normal.
if they're homeschooled and things like that, because they're not going to see anything else
yeah,
besides seeing that dad's got, you know, I've got
okay. So like if several wives.
several wives,
Okay.
and then they're going to grow up thinking, well,
gonna be-
if a man wants, you know, me to marry them, but he wants to take on you know, will they know that I can have just one husband who will just have the one wife?
Depends on how sheltered they are.
But have you seen any of these relationships where there is one woman and several men? Because it always seems to stem from one man with multiple.
Yeah,
and
true.
I think it's just
That's
the
a
men
good point.
thinking that they can
It's
have their
true.
cake and
It's
eat it.
true, you know.
Yeah, but
I've never heard of
No, I
one
haven't.
of these relationships.
I haven't, but then we look and see. I'm sure there probably are.
Well, we're going to check out and
We're
come
gonna-
back to you.
exactly.
another
Yeah,
time if
definitely.
we
One
find
woman
out.
would be
that'd be
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I know.
And how
when
is
I
she
look at it,
perceived?
How
How is she perceived?
I
You
think
know.
man has always got to be like the top dog, and you know they've always got to be the ruler of their kingdom, and I just think it's a selfish.
I don't know. I hear you,
selfish.
but I think with and I'm just talking about what we saw, the recent one that I saw with the man, with one man and two women. I don't think the man is the top dog there necessarily, because the two women are also in a relationship. So whereas you know people kind of think, oh, the man has got two women. If he just had the two wives or two, then yes.
they
But
weren't
the fact that
together.
the women are also in a relationship, everybody's winning.
But do you think
Everyone's I think
it's
everyone's
like-
winning.
what is going on in the world where we're trying to like outdo the last thing? So, you know, there used to be just a normal heterosexual relationships. Then obviously, you know, there's now lesbian relationships, there's homosexual relationships. Then there became bisexual relationships. So that,
Curious.
you know,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, then now we're having, then they're like, there were the polygamous relationships where I said a man with several wives. Now we're having these polyamorous relationships now where, so it's husband and wife, wife and wife, such, you know, husband with side chick, you know what I mean, the third I'm just saying, like,
When will it stop?
when is it going to stop? It just like, we're just, you know,
Yeah,
building.
but then I think that we live in a world now where,
Anything.
you know, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's no
And
boundaries.
is there anything wrong with that? Is it because we're so used to husband and wife, and we think that's how it should be? But is that really? Are you destined to be with a person for 30 years? One person?
I just think, personally, I want all the attention. I don't want him sharing. I'm selfish in that, you know what I mean? I want all the attention. I don't want him sharing any of his time with another wife as such, you know? Exactly. So for me,
I'm not
with that.
decided. I'm like not. I do. It's not what I do. But it's like, I'm just not. I'm just like, I don't think. So when I saw the story of on TV, I wasn't like, oh my God, so what? I just thought to myself, if it works for them.
I mean, I'm kind of like,
it's
live and
like,
let live,
yeah.
but it's like you've got to see what implication does it have on the rest of the world and how things happen, because I think, as you said, there's an implication on children. I think,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, and
And
also I think you know, me and my son had a conversation about, you know, traditional roles and, you know, how kind of women, especially, I think, have confused being like feminists with being able to do what they want and be this independent woman and, you know, not have any traditional roles. So I think it is a little bit of like, does it mess up how society has been run for how many years? And is that right or is it wrong? I mean, I'm in two minds.
But it's traditional though, isn't it? That's what it is. If we're talking about traditional, then of course it's messing up what traditional values are.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that because it's a different way that it's not right, or it's
Yeah,
not,
that's
or it's not
true.
possible. It's not possible that it can work. You know, 100 years from now, there'll be 4 women sitting down talking about this, and this will probably be the norm. I think it will be the norm, because I don't think we're destined to have just one person. You know, if you think you can get married at 16, you can be married for 50 years with one person.
Yeah, but then do you think that people really kind of just want to be having sex and, you know,
Relationships.
intimate company with several people?
Yeah, I think some people, throughout their lifetime?
I just think that most people, I don't know, I'm going from
Your
how I
experience.
feel,
You think
yeah.
about your
The
experience.
But
thing
that
is,
they just
the
want
thing
one
is
person.
that a lot of people do that anyway, but it's done under the quiet.
What's the,
Having relations with, you know,
Yeah, of course.
they're in a marriage or in a relationship and they're having relations outside. So I guess you could look at it and say, well, these polyamorous
amorous.
people or relationships, they are being more honest.
Yeah,
With
you're
each other,
right.
because they're bringing everything to the table and saying, look, this is the relationship I want. Do you want to buy into it? And then it's either a yes or no. And
I agree with you.
And I respect that more than the person that wants that type of relationship. And they go outside.
I hear what you're saying, but if that's the case, then the husband and wife that are the married couple, the two that are married, should actually divorce then. Because I'm just saying that when you enter that marriage, you're entering a marriage to be faithful to each other.
Yeah, they are, but maybe no. But maybe
bring her in.
Well,
they didn't bring her in.
As in remarry the three of them.
But you don't know what their vows are, because this is a thing as well. Your traditional marriage vows are not. Yeah. You get married, you can do your own vows.
Yeah.
So maybe it was
they cut out the
just the two of them, and just, we don't know. But my thing is that if they're happy. If all three of them are equally happy,
but I don't know how long that's going to last. I'd be curious. If they come back to them in another 3 to 5 years and just see if the relationship is just as.
And not even that,
I think we'll look up and we'll report back to you, folks,
and see
to have a look and see the relationships that we can find out how long they've lasted.
But the question was, though, sorry to cut you, it wasn't whether they can work. It was whether you could. Is it possible to love?
Yeah, I think that is possible.
Yeah,
it is. I think it is.
Which then means that if it's possible to, if the three of them can love each other equally, then that relationship should work.
Yeah, but that's
what it is. I believe you can love two people at the same time, but I don't think it's an equal.
No, it's not.
I think
there's always one that's going to be more
there's
than
the one that has your heart more, because for whichever reason.
And the one that he's married and he's been with her for, because he's been with her a couple of years, he said, isn't it?
5, I can't remember.
5 years
5
or
or 6 years, yeah.
So I think that one will always be.
Well, I don't know, Ange.
No?
Not
Not
necessarily, no.
Because there was something that allowed him to
enough.
think, okay, she's not enough. I want a piece of this
but
one.
is it because she started, having this relationship with a friend?
Because there was a friend that they had a relationship first,
Yeah.
They've got a TV programme with the same setup. Okay. And there is jealousy. The
American TV.
Yeah, I think and the man and woman are married. It wasn't her best friend, but it was a woman that she linked up with to have, because their kind of sex wasn't really going too well either, the husband and wife. And she kind of went with this woman. Then he met up with this woman. I can't remember how, if it was like the wife kind of introduced them or whatever, but then he started sleeping with her as well, and then there started to be a little bit of conflict between husband and wife, and eventually the three of them got together. But the outside woman, she was experiencing the most jealousy because them two were married.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like, you two have got each other, but who have I got when I'm not with you guys?
I see.
Okay.
So she wanted to kind of be like in the house all the time, part of
the
their
three
But then the wife started to think a little bit like, well, I don't want to muscling in on us still.
Did they have kids? Did they have children?
No. There was no kids.
Yeah, I think it's, as you said, we said earlier, when there's children involved, it's a whole different ball game. I don't think it's that straightforward. But I think, I disagree with you, Anne, because obviously Angie just doesn't think it can work. I think it can work for a what? Is it long term? I don't know.
I watched, it was actually a program about twins. It was a Filipino couple, girl, set of twins, and they wanted, they found out, they advertised for a husband. They married the same man. The two girls married the same man. And they were saying, they're going to love him equally. He said it's the best thing in the world. He's got two wives, and one was at home. Can't remember what job she is, but she was working from home, and the other one was a teacher. And the teacher became jealous because
she's spending more time with them.
The other sister was spending more time. So sometimes it starts out as a good idea, but there are things that may change along the way that's going to influence.
And we're only human
Yeah.
beings, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's
that will
like our
influence.
emotions, it's like,
That's what I
you've
said.
got
Yeah.
emotions, and there might be something, I said, that he might think, you know, whether it's the wife or he thinks it's it. Eventually, I think, or even if it's the wife thinking, you know what, I'm feeling more for the woman now and less for my
Yeah,
husband.
it's true.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
It's possible.
You know,
Yeah.
I think we're only humans, and I don't think it will work.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
It
Yeah.
will.
Interesting to see.
So we believe it's possible.
But
I believe
not
it's
equal.
possible,
I
but
believe
not
it's
equal.
possible. Yeah, me too. I'm with
I
that.
think Angie doesn't.
No, I don't think that will work. I don't think it can
Not
work.
in your book.
I don't think it can work.